Hello, my name is Brother Sean, and for those who don't know me, I am a member of the Teo community of Interspiritual Franciscans. We are an online lay monastic community who embrace the Supreme Father Mother God through the natural world, the soul of St. Francis of Assisi. This short video is an invitation to your heart to come and embrace all that there is. I am burning incense and I've lighted a candle to honor the divine in you, to honor the supreme in you, and to say to your heart, if you are troubled, if you are weary and overburdened, surrender it, bless it, release it, and let it go. I receive many emails and telephone calls from clients I've worked with over the years. But now that I'm living a simpler life as an enclosed, contemplative, interfaith Franciscan monk, many people call on me, even call to the monastery door, asking for prayer. And in all of the emails I receive, there is a common denominator. There is a link. And a lot of it is to do with religious woundedness, where many have been rejected by their religious family for daring to be different, whilst many have had to walk away from a church they love because they've been made to feel unwelcome because of their lifestyle choices. And recently I was very privileged to watch part 2 of a wonderful live documentary on the Amish in America. What a wonderful vision for a group of people, men, women and children, to live such a beautiful life. And I guess a part of me was a little envious because I would love to live in such a loving community. And then came the bombshell. And the bombshell really hurt. Were 2 members, their families, who'd been born into the community. Their mums, their dads, their brothers, sisters, cousins, relatives and friends were all members of the Amish community. But they dared to go to a Christian service that was denied them as members of the Amish community. The elders were not pleased. The elders were very angry that 2 members should defy their code of conduct. And interestingly, the phone is ringing, someone is ringing for help. But we will bless the person on that phone. But what I'm saying to you is, these 2 beautiful families knew that there was a price to pay. They experienced a sense of freedom in the new Christian church. They were able to read the Bible in English, which was forbidden them by the elders of the Amish. They were able to sing and dance and praise the Supreme, which was denied them as members of the Amish community. We have to honor our heart. And if our heart is oppressed or heavy in our spiritual family, then of course we must pray. Of course we must reflect. It is a big decision to leave one's comfort zone. And I too was faced with that decision back in '72, where I spent 2 years questioning my vocation as a nursing monk. I still loved God. I still loved living the monastic life. But as a young nurse in training, doing my nurse training as a monk, several of us who were monks in training found it extremely difficult when we returned to our monastery, when the refectory would be locked on a regular basis, when we were denied food. And the reason for that was jealousy, uncharitableness. And we began to question, is this the life for me? Is this how I wish to spend the remaining years of my life, where I have voluntarily entered celibacy and denied myself the opportunity to be a father of children? And when all of the young monks got together, we all felt a deep sense of sadness and loss, that once we made the decision to leave, that would be it would be final. Because the community would be prohibited, like the Amish, from keeping in touch with us. So it was a bereavement, it was a letting go, and it was very painful. What I'm saying here is, if there is some confusion in your life about your spiritual path, and you're finding that you're not fulfilled, that you're denied close intimacy with God, if you feel that it is wrong to be different and to find God for you, then you need to question why you are feeling so confused. Because it's my understanding now that I'm free, I'm on the outside of my church looking in. I no longer buy into all that negativity, that you're a sinner, you're going to go to hell. They are not the teachings of a loving God. They are man's teachings to control the children of God. And that's not just in the Christian church. It's in the Amish community, it's in the Judaic faith, it's even in Islam. Take, for example, what's happening in Syria. We have two groups of beautiful men and women, Muslim, Shiite and Sunni, tearing one another apart. Not the teachings of Allah, and certainly not the teachings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. But this is what happens. When man is given power, man abuses that power. And I've seen it in the monastic life, where you have people who step out of their comfort zone of faith and trust in God and become tyrants, who bully and who abuse God's love for his children. So you have to be strong, take heart, and honor your heart. Because your heart is your teacher. And there is an inner voice speaking to my heart and your heart today. But what is that voice saying to your heart? Is that voice saying trust? Do not be afraid. Be strong. Is that voice saying that when your back is to the wall, surrender, hand over to God and trust? But the voices in our head will be saying, don't be foolish. You're grown up now. This is silly talk. This is girly language. And those inner voices in our head can be very convincing, but they're also deceptive voices. And it is my belief that the Antichrist takes place in our mind center. It becomes the seedbed for these unloving thoughts that condemn us to a life of misery. I know I lived such a life for many years as a devout Catholic Christian. And when I went to my church for support for the Teo community of St. Francis and asked that some of our members could take their vows and renew their vows in the Bishop's private chapel here in Lancaster, in the UK, it was no. And the reason being because we're not owned or controlled by the church. I know the Teo community would be a wealthy community now with land and property, had it have come under the control of the church. But had we have done that, then we would have compromised the very essence of the vision of reaching out to all faiths and none. Many within the Christian church see us as a cult, as a sect. We're not. Many in the New Age fraternity see us as Bible bashers or religious freaks. We're not. We are ordinary men and women who have been broken in our mind, who've surrendered our hearts to love, and we are free. We are free because we do not have a dogma that compromises our simplicity and belief. Peace be with you.